Hi everyone, Emma here. I am going to show you how to make this lovely bracelet. So in the last two videos, we did this one here, and this one turned out just gorgeous. I did want to attach it differently, so that's why I went ahead with this white one. And you can see if you change your colors, so I have gold, and yeah, it's everything is pretty much gold in this one. But then with this one I did some white super duos and some silver beads. It just changes everything incredibly. Let's adjust the camera here. And again, just a simple change to how you attach your bracelet changes the look of the bracelet, as well as changing your clasp changes the bracelet. So in this one here, we added some, let me adjust the camera here. We added some pearls to extend onto our toggle clasp. And there's the other side of it, like that. And we attached it using a pearl. And I think in this I did a 11-0, a pearl, an 11-0. And there's one section here where I accidentally added two pearls. And I would say if you were going to do this, I might go with the two pearls. Take a look how that looks different. It extends it a little more. So, you know, choices. There's lots of them, making little choice. The other thing is, these I did, like this whole design I got from a video that's in Italian. It's an old video, and it's definitely hard to understand, and sometimes it's hard to see because you go out of frame. And I have to say, that's normal. I mean, it's really hard. We have, like, if you look at my hand, you look at the top finger and the thumb, that's the area that the screen is showing you. My desk and my mat is like so much bigger, so you forget that where the camera outline is. So anyway, that's an aside. So yeah, I redid that design so that I could show you how to do it without having to worry about translating the Italian, and hopefully everything will be in focus. Now here's the other thing I want to say. So this, I did this about 3 months ago, and some of my little embellishments in the middle I didn't do as tight as I should have. And so now with this one I worked really hard to keep everything nice and tight, so you get this kind of rounded curved effect. You can do these flat, they still look wonderful, but I kind of like this rounded look to it. It gives it a very 3D feel. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you. The other thing is, in the last videos, when I showed you how to make one of these components, I went back and I reviewed the video. Now normally I upload it and just let it go, let you guys watch it and stuff. And when I get a chance, I review the video. So when I reviewed it, I realized there was a lot of fast movement in my hands when I'm doing stuff. So I am going to work on this one, and I'm going to redo one of these elements to show you how to do it. So hopefully it'll be a little clearer to do. I feel like this is probably an intermediate bracelet, but you know what? I'm new to bead weaving, and I was able to follow kind of you know, somewhat out of frame instructions, and I was able to do it. So I feel like, I want to say it's simple, but I don't want you to get discouraged. So if you follow step by step, and just do one step at a time, don't think ahead of what the next thing is. Just follow step by step, and if it doesn't look right, just pull it apart or start a new element. But I think this can be done even if you're new to this. So this is going to be gorgeous. So let's go ahead and start this. So we need some 11-0 seed beads. We need some 15-0 seed beads. You're going to need, for one component, you need four 4mm bicones. I'm using the Swarovski opal with the AB on it. And then you're going to need one 3mm, and I'm just using the 3mm clear. Actually, I think there is AB on this one as well. You are going to need your super duos. For one component, you need 8 super duos, but I've got 10 here because 2 of these are going to go to attach this component to the rest of the bracelet. And we'll talk about the other supplies, like your how you're going to attach the clasp and the clasp itself. So go ahead and pick up 8 11-0s. 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is your, let me enlarge this. And let me adjust there. So let's separate that so you can see there is 8. You're going to pull that down, and I'm using this lovely white dragon thread from Potomac Beads, their new thread, and I love it for this bracelet. I find it's nice and strong, but it's nice and thin, so I can do multiple passes through my 15-0s. Okay, so we're going to take it down, leave a bit of a tail so you can tie this in a knot, and we're going to go through these beads again. And again, I'm going to try and slow my roll down. Is that what the young people say? Slow your roll down, old lady. So I'm just going to go through that again. Okay. And we're going to create a knot. Just tie this like that in a knot and do another knot. I have a hard time doing knots on camera. Ugh. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. That's just me, I guess. It's crazy me. Okay. I think it's because it's so far away for me. So that's what you've got. Just do a third knot, but I think that's fine. I'll pull it, make sure it's, yeah. Okay. So let's cut this piece here. Cut the tail off. And you can use scissors for that too, if you don't have a thread burner. Okay, now we're going to go through because we want to work away from the knot. So let's go through 3. And we'll also try and tuck that thread in a bit. There we go. I'm going to go through a few more because now my knot's probably in this bead here. I want to stay away from it. Okay, we are ready to go. So there's your 8 beads. We are going to take 2 more 11-0s. So we're coming out of this side here. We're going to go in to the next bead. And we're going to pass through the bead next to it as well, just like that. And just get that nice and even there, and see if we can pull that. There we go, like that. Okay, now we're going to pick up 2. I'm going to move these over a bit. 2 11-0s. So we are coming out of this side here. We're going to go in to the one next to it, and we're going to pass through the one next to it, just like that, with our 2. Get this so you can see, like that. put that down. So you can see it's starting to set itself up. Pick up 2 more 11/0s. That we're coming out of this side. We're going to go into the next one, and we're going to pass through the bead next to it as well. And this little technique here is an awesome way to start any type of design that you have and you want to add stuff around. So you can do earrings, you can do snowflake ornaments for your Christmas tree. So it's a really cool. So pick up 2 more 11/0. We're coming out of that bead here. We're going to go into this one. Now we're going to pass through again that second bead, and then we're going to come up this one here. You might be able to get your needle through, yeah, all 3 of those. Not necessary. You see what happens when I do that. Oh, my crazy needles. Somebody, I'm sorry, I forgot who it was when I was reading the comments last night. They were like laughing like crazy about their needles. Yep. There we go. This, and try and get them sitting kind of even there like that. Okay, so now we're set up with the beginning of our cross. Let's turn that there. And we're going to continue. Go one more time around. So pick up 2 11/0s. Go through this one here. And we want to take this through this bead, through that one, and up this one. So I think what we'll do is we'll just go straight down and then we'll come back up. Actually, it wants to go through this one, so we'll do that. Ow. Ow. The needle bit me. Okay, I'm just going to bring it up through this one. That. Get ready for our next set. Pick up 2 11/0s. Move these guys. Okay, so we're coming out of this side here. We're going to go through here and we're going to come out this one. So if you have to do it in a couple of steps, by all means do. But you see how the needle kind of wants to go through everything. It's super tight, so. And just kind of position those guys. And we still have to go through this last bead here. Let's go through here. There, like that. Oops. You can see how when you're trying to position this, it's so tiny at the beginning that you're trying to hold everything in place. So we'll pick up 2. We're coming out of this side, going into this side. And to bring it through. Get those lined up, and we still have to go through this. So we're coming out of that bead there. We want to go through this one here. And this will be our last set. And just keep your eye out for your thread hooking onto things. I have made a few bracelets in my short time of beading, and I get through and I'm looking at it going, this is so beautiful, and admiring my work, and then I see a big thread across. The first time I saw that, I was like, oh, I need to untangle that. I untangle it and now everything's loose. I was like, why did I? Should have just left it. I don't have any clue for that except watch what you're doing to start with. So I am going to try and go through this, just these 2 here, so that we can set up. You can see how tight the middle You know what? I'm going to go through that second one here. It just doesn't want to. Look at what happened to my needle. This is our last set. Now what we're going to do is attach our Swarovski 3mm in the middle. And you can do it at the end, but you know what? Since we're here, now's the time to do it. This way we don't have to thread back our needle. So you want to attach your 3mm bicone at the end of one of these lines, and you're going to line it up across. You can line it up this way. I did that in the gold one, and on one of them, and it looked weird to me, but you know what? It's probably not that big a deal. So let's grab the thread here like that and hang on to this. So we're going to pick up a 15-0 and our 3mm bicone and another 15-0. Okay, so this is what you have. So we're coming out of this one here, so we're going to go directly across and we're going to go up through this bead here. So I'm just going to flip my work so I can kind of get into that bead. Let's see if we can get in here, because I probably put these too tight. And it's hard for me to see at a distance here. Let me see if I can slide between these two. There we go. Okay, so managed to get in there. Pull through. And I'm not going to pull it super tight because we are going to anchor this on the other side as well. So what that means, we're going to cross over our thread to this next bead here. Let's see if we can get that through. Okay, so we're crossing over the thread. And again, you don't have to do it this way. You could just do, when you come to this side, you could go through this bead instead, and it'll kind of angle it slightly. But what I want to do is I'm going to add another, and that's the wrong bead. I'm going to add another 15-0. So we're coming out of this one here, adding a 15-0. We're going to go through the crystal. So now you have two 15-0s anchoring your crystal. And now we're going to add another 15-0, so there'll be two on that side. And that will be it for this. It looks a bit complicated, but it really isn't. So we need to go up through this. Wonder. Yeah, I think I'm going to go down through that bead. The reason I'm saying that is in my past ones, I went up and I found that the bead, the 15-0, actually sat below. And I kind of want it to sit above so that it outlines the crystal. So this stuff is a bit finicky because it's so tiny, but it's so worth it. There we go. So I'm just checking to make sure my strands are all where they need to be. There we go. You can make a ring out of that. Look at that. So I mean, it's endless what you can do once you have a base, right? So we are coming out of this bead here. We want to come up to one of these. So let's see if we can get our needle into this next set of beads. I might have to do it in in steps here. Trying to come from behind. Ow. Ow. Let me see. Let me see if I can get in here. That looks like we got it. I am using a size 10 needle, and you know what? This needle's too big for this. That's why I'm struggling so much, because these are 11.0 seed beads. I should be going through this easily, so just FYI. I used it for all of the others, but I started out with a size 12 needle, and I didn't have any problem getting through stuff. Okay, so we are ready to add our super duos. So let's grab these guys. So we are going to pick up 2 super duos. We are coming out of here. We're going to go down through this bead here, like that. Move that out of the way so you can see. Okay, and you'll see how that sets them up. There, like that. Now we're going to cross over our thread and go up the next bead this way here. And things are going to be loose, so you can, as you're going around, you can tighten it a bit. Let's pick up our next 2 super duos. Go down this bead here. Like that. Cross over to the next bead and bring your needle up and pull it tight. Just like that. Pick up 2 super duos. You're coming out of this side here. We're going to go down in this bead only. Like that. Pull it through. That. We are going to cross over to the next bead and we are going to go up. I'm just going to spin it a bit so that it's easier for me to get my needle in, and up through this bead next to it. Position our needle and thread for the next set and tighten it a bit. So you can see how amazing this is starting to look. Pick up 2 super duos. 2 super duos. Coming out of this side, we're going to go down through this bead here. Like that. And there, tighten these. Like that. So that is the next step. So now we want to add our crystals to the section here. So we need to step up. So to start with, we went through this bead here. So we're going to cross over and we're going to come up that next bead like we were doing all the way around. So let's cross over. I may have to do this from the back here. This is the part, it's a bit, for me it's difficult because I'm at arm's length away from my work, and I would just flip it over and stuff, but I want you guys to see what I'm doing, because I felt bad when I saw the other video. I'm like, oh, that's all over the place. Okay, so now we're in a better position. So we're going to come out of this bead here. We're going to go through the bottom of the super duo and we're going to step up. So we're just going to pull through, and we can tighten as well. There, actually this one here is not tight. Let me go through and pull each one so that they're tight and tight. There. Should be tighter than that. Let's see if I can. You know what? I think I'm going to go through because I don't like how loose that is. So let me just tighten this one. And I will just loop around. So I'm going to go through these guys. My needle's like, oh, okay. I tried to tighten it by going through the others, but clearly that's not where the thread was coming from. So just go through here again. This is just getting loose. I should probably change the needle. Getting a bit ridiculous. Okay, that's there. Now it's tight. Okay. Go through here. Step up. So we're going to go from the bottom hole into the top hole on that same super duo, like that. Then we are going to add, and then just, we add a 11/0, a 4mm crystal, and another 11/0, like that. And we're going to go through the next super duo, like that. And I'm just going to double check this camera, make sure it's in focus. Okay, then we're going to pick up, so in between your super duos, you're just going to put an 11/0. That. And there's space in there, so that's when we start doing this section here. If we pull it tight, it's going to round it. If you don't want that rounded, you could always add 11/0s in there, or you could add 15/0s on either side, or you could add 2 11/0s. So let's move these guys over. Okay, pick up 11/0, a 4mm crystal, another 11/0. We are going to go, so we're coming out of this super duo, we're going to go into the next one. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around. Now we need to put an 11/0 between here. Like that. We need an 11/0, a 4mm crystal, an 11/0. Coming out of that side, we're going to go into the next super duo. Like that. Put an 11/0 in there between the two super duos. That. Then we want an 11/0, a crystal, and another 11/0. Go through, like that. So you can see right now it's super flat. I'm not pulling it tight. This is a lovely design too, so by all means, if that's what you want. So now I'm going to go through everything one more time, and this is where I'm going to pull it so that it rounds up. So we'll just go through everything one more time. 10. And let me adjust my thread here. And just keep going around. You don't have to pull it tight yet. When we get to the end, we'll pull it tight and you'll see how amazing it looks. Keep putting it through. Just whatever you can get through. You don't have to do a bunch at once. I did find with these needles too, surprisingly, there's a hook on the tip, like a scratchy. I had to fix that, like check the other needles and maybe adjust it. On my last bracelet, I noticed it, like my needle would nick these super duos and take the finish off. Never had that happen. Okay, so because our crystal is here, we want it to bend downward, so kind of coax it in that position. And just pull tight. You can see it's starting to round nicely. So what I did, because I wanted to keep that tension of it being rounded, I went ahead and put some knots in here. You don't have to, but that's just me. So let's go ahead and put a knot in here like that. Tighten that in there, and then we're going to pass through next couple of beads and we'll put another knot. Just making sure it's where I want it. And put another knot. Go through here first. Hide my knot in the super duo. That. And I'm doing a double half hitch, so once and twice. Again, you can do one, it will still work the same way. I just like putting two. Putting two, if you have to go back through it, it might be an issue, so just be aware. And I am just going to hide this knot in the super duo, and we will embellish this with our 15-0 seed beads. Okay, I'm just going to move these 11 O's out of the way. I think there's 11 O's in here. There's a big one. Big one. Let me just move those over. I'll sort them later. There, we need our 15 O's. So we are coming out of an 11-0 seed bead. We're going to add an embellishment around this bicone and go back into the 11-0. To do that, we're going to add 15-0 seed beads. In the original, the gold one, I did 6, and it created a nice peak. So the one bead was sitting at the top here. But I found, and you know, sometimes the size of the bicone's not exactly the same. Or it could be the 11 O's, or it could be my tension. There's more thread in between. Like you can see, this is a bit loose. So I went ahead for this one here. I did instead of using 6 15-0 seed beads, I used 5, and I actually liked it better. It was a little more rounded, not so pointy. So let's go ahead and do that. So there is 5. We are gonna, coming out of this side, we're gonna go into this 11-0 and just the 11-0 and bring that down, and you see how lovely that is. So if you added another one, it would it would create this really defined peak. So now we're going to add 3 11-0s to go around the super duos, and we're going to go through the next 11-0. No, did I say 11-0s there? I meant 15-0s. So these are all 15-0s we're adding right now. There. So pick up another 3. 1, 2, 3 15-0s. We're coming out of this 11-0. We're going to go into this 11-0. There. We're going to pick up 5 15-0s. There's 5. We're coming out of this 11-0. We're going to go into this one. Like that. And you can see when you're working on it, your piece gets a bit smushed down. Don't worry, it'll get back into shape. Pick up 3 15-0s. Go through the next 11-0. That. And I'm just kind of moving them around, positioning them. Now we're going to pick up 3 15-0s. Go through that 11-0. Like that. 5 15-0s. That. And go through the next 11-0. Just go all the way around with this. Three 11-0s. Through the, sorry, 3 15-0s. 1, 2, 3 more 15-0s. Through the 11. 5. That. Go through. 3. Let me count those. Yeah, I thought there was more than 3. One snuck onto the thread. There we go. Sneaky buggers. Okay, 3, and we are done. Go through this 11-0. There. Okay, so now we're ready to attach this to the bracelet. Hopefully we have enough thread, because I put a shorter strand thinking, oh, I'm just going to show you the one. Okay, so now we are going to attach this to here like that. And we are going to put our super duos in there to attach it like that. So you want to be coming out of one of these 11 O's that's sitting beside the super duo. Now you can change the orientation on how you attach things. So if you wanted to attach it this way, you could do it that way as well. So just think about how you want it attached. So this is going to go like this. So we need, get some 11 O's here. I'm going to take an 11 O and our super duo, another 11 O. And we are going to find the same 11 O next to the super duo. The needle bit me again. I'm telling. Okay, we'll just pull that on. It's kind of loosey-goosey right now, but it's going to sit like that. We're going to pick up an 11 O. We're going to go, oh wait, we have to bring our thread up. Sorry about that. I'm jumping ahead. I'm all excited to show you. So we are going through this 11 O here. We want to bring our thread up to probably this one here. So we're just going to go through these 15 O's. Actually, no, you know what I want to do? Because I feel like the 15 O's are not structural, I want to go through, so you're coming out of this 11 O, I'm going to go through this crystal and just the crystal, and I'm going to use it as my structure. Okay, like that. So I'm just going to flip this around so it's easier for me to get my needle through. So now I am going to go through these 15 O's and come out this one and attach. And we're going to use these crystals to hold the components together rather than the 15 O's. There, like that. Okay, so you bring that through and flip your super duo. Now add another 15 O. Go through the super duo. Add another 15 O. And we are going to go down this. Actually, we should go through the crystals. So go this way through this side here. These two guys. Like that. Okay. You're going to pull everything tight. Like that. We're going to go through the crystal. And I'm going to go through this 11 O and bring it around so it's nice and tight. Then we're going to go through the 15 O, the super duo, the next 15 O, and through the crystal like that. And you can see it's loose, but we're gonna tighten that there, nice and tight. So that is not gonna go anywhere. That's on there. Now we're gonna put our little embellishment on that. Now you don't have to as well, but since we put it on everything else, I think it kind of go. So let's go through all these beads and next to the super duo, we're going to pick up 3 15 O's, that, and we are going to go through I think I'm going to go down this here. So I'm just going to go through the first 15 like that, and then I'm going to go down these guys just because I feel like they're getting pushed to the back and I want them at the front, or at least level. Go through, there's 3 of these here. There we go. Got those in there. Perfect. So you can see it kind of popped them up a bit. I didn't want them going backwards. So now we're going to go through this 11/0 because we're going to come down to this 11/0 here, right here. So we're going to go through the 11/0, the super duo, because now we're going to add the last super duo here. Go through your super duo, through this 11/0, like that. Look at this, there's not much thread left. Why? Oh my gosh, this got all mushed. Okay, so we're going to pick up an 11/0. Super duo, an 11/0. We are coming out of this 11/0 next to the super duo, this one here. We are going to go in through this one and through the crystal. Just through the crystal. Put it over there, like that. Let's see if I can straighten my needle a bit. Okay, now we are going to go through these seed beads here. These 15/0s. These teeny tiny. There. Pull that through and tighten everything. That. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the last piece together, and I will go back on my own and reinforce that. I would normally go through it a couple of times, but running out of thread here. So put the 15/0, go through the super duo and grab your next 15/0. I am going to come down this way for now because we're going to add our embellishment before I tie it off. It's tight. Go back around. Actually, that can be tighter. So I'm going to go through the super duos again, or the super duo, like that. And go up through these 15/0s. That. And pull tight. Now we're going to go through that 15/0 that's sitting next to it. I'm going to pull this there. Now we need some 50 notes. I just need another one there. And I will show you how to put the clasp on. It's really pretty. It turned out so nice. So 1, 2, 3, just for the embellishment here. You're going to come through that bead there. That. And let's go through here and put a knot, or attempt to put a knot. Okay. At least there's enough thread. Okay. Let's put this back. See if we can get this on and pull it through the other bead so that I can cut it off. And then I'll show you the clasp. That's the good thing about having a size 10 needle. You can get through. Okay, let's go through this crystal. And I will go back and reinforce that section because I like to go through it at least twice when there's an attachment. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And look at this, how amazing is that? Look at, just gorgeous. Okay, so this is the clasp. I started out with a clasp like this, and for this bracelet, that's what I did. And I added this embellishment to get it on there. That. But because this one, the way I attached it, it looks like a cuff to me. So I wanted something longer. Now I did come up with this clasp here, which was a bit bigger and is absolutely beautiful. This is probably one of my most favorite clasps. And you could see how gorgeous this would look. Let me enlarge that. Look how amazing that would look. But again, I wanted it to, I feel like it's really impactful, the fact that it's attached like a cuff. So I came up with this box clasp, and oh my gosh, it turned out really nice. So let's go ahead and attach this part. I've already attached this, and I've used these little metal beads. They look like they're about a 2 millimeters. So let me check. Actually, they're 3. Okay, so those are 3 millimeters. And we're going to use some 11/0s. Okay. So this is a 3-hole or 3 attachment. So it kind of fits up nicely with it. So we're going to attach at the edge here, in the middle of those 2 super duos, and at the edge there, and it's super simple. So let's get some thread. And see if we can flatten that. This thread is thinner than the normal thread, so it would probably go through that 11 or 10 needle anyway. So let me see if I can get that. No, it's not going through there's like a little ball on the end from the zapper. This one will go through, it's flat. There, that's through. So because this is a clasp, we want to reinforce where we're going to attach it. So we're going to I'm going to go through here, and I will put a couple of knots. Go through this crystal. And I'm going to leave a bit of a tail so it doesn't go through and get lost. Just bring my needle around the thread there, and I'm going to wrap it twice. Pull it down tight, hold that, and bring my needle through. And tighten that. And we're going to go through this 11-0, and that will conceal that knot. And we're going to go through the next super duo there. And I'm going to put another knot here. Like that, 2. Pull it down, hold it, and tighten, and go through this 11-0. And now, because I want to be at this edge here, I'm going to bring my thread up there. I'm going to cut this off now, but it's safe to do so. Okay. Now we need to go through these last little beads here, like that. We are going to pick up an 11-0, one of these 3mm metal balls, and another 11-0. And the clasp is going to go this way on. So we are going to pick up the edge of the clasp. We're going to pick up another 11-0, but we're going to go through that 3mm ball now. Like that. And we're also going to go through the 11-0 that we added the first one. Okay. Just pull everything down like that. Super easy. Now we're going to go through these 15 O's, and we're going to go through the crystal and then through the clasp. So we're going to use our crystal again as our anchor bead. Pull everything tight. Go through your crystal. Like that. So you see? Flip this way here. There. So we'll go through this one more time, and then we'll go to the next one. I did 3 for the other side of the clasp. So I'm going through these 15 O's, I'm going through the 11-0, I'm going through the 3mm, and I'm going through this 11-0 up here. That's missing it here. There, that 11-0. So I'm going through everything again, making sure everything's tight. I'm going to go around through the clasp. Then we're going to go down this 11/0 here, through the 3mm, through the 11/0. Like, I want to go in there. There we go. It's because my needle's crooked. Okay, pull that tight. Now, on the other one, like I said, I went through it 3 times. I'm going to do it 2 times on this one. So now I want my thread to be coming out of this 11/0 here. So I'm just going to follow the beads through like this, through that 11/0, through the super duo, and through that 11/0. And we went through the first 2 15/0s. And ta-da, that's what we have. Oh, you know what? This is on backwards. Do you know how I can tell? So this is the rounded edge, that's the bottom side, and the pinch should be on the upside. So let me see, can I just flip it? Nope. Wait, I can. Nope, it keeps going. Oh man. I always say to be careful here, you know. This should be up on this side. Okay. We're just gonna have to cut it off. And that's why I say you have to really watch your orientation of your clasp. Of course, you know, you've got your orientation of your clasp, but you also have the bracelet has an orientation, so double whammy. So let me there, take that off. I think I'm going to use a new strand of thread because I don't think this is going to be long enough. Okay. Hope you guys didn't have any plans. This is going to take a little longer. But you know what? Mistakes happen. So sometimes if it's a small project and I'm not like that freaked out about it, I'll just leave the mistake. But you know what? Throughout my life and my career as a nurse, you learn that you have to do things correctly. If you do make a mistake, you have to go backwards and fix that mistake. So, I mean, this is a simple thing. It's not life-threatening or anything, but I find that I learn so much from my mistakes, and if I go back, I feel so much sense of accomplishment to know that So I am going to start from the other side, and I'll tell you why. Because I did the thread through that side, it might be hard to put my thread through. So might as well start on this side. Because ending it, I can take another path. So let's get this knot in. And that through. And go through that 11/0, super duo, 11/0. I'm just going to put one knot for this. I did a double hitch, so it should be fine. off. Get my needle, get into position, and get this in the right orientation. Okay. Go through this 50 nose because you want to be at this corner here. Okay, pick up an 11/0, a 3mm, an 11/0, like that, and I am going to double check my orientation. So you can see there's where the pinch part of the clasp goes. So this is definitely this is the bottom and this is the top. So it would go like that, and this would go this way. So this would flip that way. Okay, so we have our 11/0, our 3mm, our 11/0. We are going to add the clasp. Let's go through the bottom this time. Pick up an 11/0. We are going to go through this 3mm and this 11/0 here. We're going to go across these 50 nose, and then we're going to go down through that crystal as our anchor. So just hold everything there. Like that. Okay, go down through that crystal. There. Nice tight. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to go through these 11/0s. Sorry, the 50 nose, the 11/0. Go through the clasp again. Go through everything and through the clasp. It's getting a bit loose, but that's fine. It will tighten every time you go through. You just pull it through like that, nice and tight. Up down here. Go through all these guys again. Through and untangle your thread. That. Okay, so now let's go through this 11/0 and go through the super duo and through the next 11/0. We are set to go. Pick up an 11/0, a 3mm, an 11/0, and we're going to go through the middle portion of the pinch part of your bail or your clasp, like that. That. Pick up an 11/0, go through this 3mm and the 11/0, and pull that in. So we came out of this side of the 11/0. I'm going to go through the other side of the 11/0. I'm pretty confident that that 11/0 is a good structured one, but if you're concerned, you could weave through your super duos. So let's go through that one more time. Go through these guys. That. Through the clasp. To the back. I'm going to make sure everything's tight. Through this 11/0. Through the 3mm. And through the 11/0 like that. So this is what we have so far. Now we are going to go through these 50 no's. We want to come out to this 50 no here. So actually we can go through the 11 no. We can skip those. And I think, you know what, I'm going to come out the other side of the crystal and we'll start it that way. That way we have some structure for that. You can see how lovely it looks. Just a bit of finagling, and hopefully you don't put your clasp on backwards like I did. It's okay, you can laugh. I laugh at my mistakes. If you thought you were going to come to YouTube and see this awesome polished video with no mistakes, there's where the laughing starts. So not my style. So I picked up 11-0, a 3mm 11-0, went through the clasp. I'm picking up another 11-0, and now I'm going back through the 3mm and the 11-0. We're going to pull that tight. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these 15 O's, then the crystal. So I'm going to come around that way to do my loop. And you know what? You can do this any way. I mean, I've been talking about different variations. You could do it any way you want, however you want to create your structure. That's the important part, is that it's not going to come off at the clasp, and it's going to create a structure for the clasp. So let's go through these guys and through everything again. We're just about done. That. Go through the clasp. That. Then through this 11-0 and through everything. So go through these 15s as well, like that. And let's see if I can get that. There we go. It's super tight. So you can see it's almost holding up. It's that tight. That's lovely. Okay, so let's find a spot to put a knot. Let's go here. There. And go through that. Get our shape back, and we will cut this, and we are ready to show you this lovely bracelet. So this is, oh, I'm so excited about this bracelet. I think, you know, I love the gold. There's the gold. But this one here is just amazing. So this. Wouldn't you freak out if I went to put it together and it was in the wrong orientation? You'd be like, oh my god. What? Oh, this is lovely. So this turned out so nice. Oh, let's try it on. Oh my gosh. And guess what? It fits me. So let's talk about size. In this one here, I talked about, as I extended the clasp with these pearls, it extended it enough. So this is about a 7 1/4 size, almost into the 7 1/2 shape, and that is with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, of these components. So if you wanted to not extend it this way and do a different straight up clasp, you might want to put an extra if you're a 7.5-inch wrist. This one has, I think, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that just shows you the difference, how close these are together when you attach them, because my wrist size is 5 3/4. And wait to see how this fits. This, I would say, is the perfect size for me because it's a bit loose. Let's see if I can get this in here. These clasps are not, they're inexpensive clasps, so they're a bit hard to, but okay, so this is the space I have left. So I think this would be like a perfect size for my wrist. I don't know that I would want it much tighter than that, but there is, oh, it turned out beautiful. And you could do so many colors with this. Just amazing. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I really wanted to make sure that I did a second video of this. One, I love doing it so much, and two, I found that the two bracelets were so incredibly different with different colors and the different clasps and the different attachments. So you can take one design and you can make so many different variations. This is, trying to attach this here. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, you can see this one's way too big for me. But there's the bracelets. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.